Hello and welcome to Julie Hall Designs and our You Do You zippered pouch collection, where every week we bring you a new way to use a single set of designs. And so far I think we're up to about 8 or 9 different ways that you can use these designs. So today I'm going to show you this fantastic zippered pouch with a top fold over flap. Fantastic just for adding a little bit of extra drama. If you're the type of person who likes a clutch purse, you can use the clutch purse size. So there are multiple sizes here using this beautiful scallop. Now, as you can see, I've used a multi-tonal thread and I've quilted that. If you were using a decorative fabric and you didn't want to do that, you just skip that step. But this project is going to be one of those great ones that you can use so often. All I'm going to do on mine here is pop some side anchor straps onto the side, and I've got a great fold over bag all ready to go. So come and join us and let's see what we need to do to create this beautiful in the hoop project. So let's come through and look at what we are going to need to make this fantastic purse. Now, I've got lining fabrics, and you can see I'm in a using up phase at the moment. So my lining fabrics are 2 different colors, but they're in the same tone family. So I still think it is going to work. I've got my denim fabric that I'm using, and I've folded over one piece so that it can attach to the zipper, and I've done the same thing with one of the lining pieces as well. I've also got my zipper, and I've got an extra piece of denim and an extra piece of lining fabric, and that's going to be the flap that folds over. And I'm going to use a great decorative thread on that just to really punch it up and make it something special. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so here we are at our machine. I've just got tearaway stabilizer in the hoop, and the first thing I'm going to do is stitch the outline to show exactly where we need to place our fabric for this design. And I'm going to come through and I'm going to place a piece of embroiderer's felt, and then my main fabric over that outline. And then I'm going to stitch colorway 2, which is going to hold that down. Thing we're going to do is stitch the beautiful quilting design, and this is just giving a little bit of interest into our design. What you'll notice on this design is it's quite a quick and simple one, and it would look fantastic using your metallic thread. I'm loving it with my Fabulux, and the Fabulux that I'm using here is the FB08, which is called Ocean Breeze. And of course, as you know, we now stock those beautiful threads. And it just gives that beautiful pop of colour to add that little bit of interest. Now, these designs are all part of the You Do You collection. So for anybody who has purchased, there is an update that has already been sent to you with these fantastic designs on them. And once we've done that, we're just going to come back and because it won't be seen, I'm just going to use construction thread here. And then I take my lining fabric, right sides together, lay that down, and we stitch out the final colourway. Which will hold all of those layers together. So smooth as you go, just to make sure that everything's looking as good as possible. And then we can come over to our workbench and let's have a look at what we've got. So first things first, remove stabilizer. And then trim your project, and look, standard trimming, you want to go around about 1/4 of an inch, a little more, a little less. Look, you know, the police aren't going to come and take you, but you just want to leave it as nice as possible. And then I'd probably give it about 1/2 an inch across the top to an inch, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch maybe. Now, the other thing that you are going to want to do is you are going to want to come through and clip your corners And you're also going to want just to clip around those curves to help everything look as pretty as possible. And I've got my little presser turned on. And now we just turn that inside out. Oh, that's pretty. And we start pressing. So remember, the more work you do now, the prettier it is going to look in the end. So take your time. If you need to turn it back out and clip again, that is absolutely fine. But I'm going to come through and press, and all I want to do is make sure I'm ending up with the prettiest looking design that I can. Now, if you don't want the quilting on your design, just skip that step. And that is our pouch cover ready to go into the design. So let's get ready for the second part of the design and put the actual bag together. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got my hoop and I've got tearaway stabilizer. I apologise for the noise, it is raining at the moment. And I flipped my design so that my zipper area is going to be up the top here and just make it a little bit easier for me. So the first thing that we're going to do is stitch out colorway 1, which is going to show us exactly where that zipper will be placed. So it's the outline of the pouch as a total. And this one's a great one to turn into a really quick crossbody bag. So we've got our main outline, and then we've got the area where the zipper is going to go. Okay, so I've got my zipper, which is a number 3 zipper, and I'm going to lay it over that area, so over that outline, and then just stitch colorway number 2, which is going to show, or which is going to hold that first piece of zipper down. And then I'm going to stitch colorway number 3, which is stitch the second part of the zipper down, and just make sure that that zipper tab is out of the area. Okay, so our zipper's down. So now we take our first piece of fabric, which is the one with that 1 centimetre piece folded over, and we are going to lay that over our outline, and stitch colorway 4 to hold it down. that thread there, and that thread there. Okay, so first piece of lining. To deal with that, we come and we remove the hoop from the machine and turn it over. And our lining, which once again the piece that's folded down, is going to then sit along that line, just over that line that we've already stitched. Make sure that on both sides it's covering your the stitching around here, and I'm going to use, to hold it all in place, a couple of magnet pins, and that is really just to stop it from moving, the fabric from moving out of alignment. And what you want to do is make sure that those magnets are in no way in the stitching area. So you want it to hold the fabric down, but you do not want it to inhibit the stitching, because if you stitch on the metal, you will not have a good result. And just make sure everything's all smooth and nice. Reset your hoop on, and then we're going to stitch colorway 5 to hold that down. Now, once you've done this, it is worth coming along and taking your hoop off and making sure that that stitching is correctly held down. It will save you a lot of angst later on. And then I'm just going to remove those two magnets. One's fallen through there, so that's all good. Okay, now we are almost at the end of our stitching. We only have another 2 colorways to go. So I've moved my zipper tab into the center position. I'm going to place this flap over between those 2 center lines, and then my final piece of fabric face down, and by final piece of fabric I mean final piece of main fabric as well, because we still do have the back lining to go. Once I've got all those in place, I want to come through and stitch colorway 6. Now, as you come up here, just make sure that that zipper pull hasn't moved. And if you need to slow your machine down, that is absolutely fine. So what this machine doesn't have, that my regular machine does, is that automatic presser foot height. Because of that, I've just stopped that and then set it again. Okay, one more colour to go, and it is our lining. So what we're going to do is come through, take our lining fabric and lay it over the outline. And again, I just want to pop those magna pins inside of the stitching area, because I do not want to make changes to any of the actual stitching. Once we've got that, we again return the hoop, making sure that everything is smooth. And the final stitching will come through and around, leaving a space there. Okay, so our stitching is now completed. Let's come and check out what it all looks like. And stitching is done. I'm going to remove those magnets, and then I'm going to take my hoop off. And I want to remove any excess stabilizer. Okay. So now that we're rid of that, what I can do is come through, and I want to trim all the way around except for where that where we've got that opening. And once again, somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch seems to be a good idea. Then we're going to take away any of the fabric that's not the lining, down to that same 1/4 inch. Okay, so now we've got something to work with. And what you'll see is you've got an opening here. What we're going to do, oops, so what you'll see is we've got an opening here. I'm going to come through and turn the pouch inside out. You've heard me calling it birthing the bag before. You know the reason why. It's a pain in the neck. And the more time you take to do this step well, the better your final project is going to look. So for instance, come on up and really pull those corners out there, and at each end as well. And then I want to press particularly the bottom of the bag here, because this is where we need to close that up, and I'm going to press under that lining along the seam line there, and then on this side as well. So that we have a nice fold to work with. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to take my double-sided no heat basting tape and I'm going to run a line of that tape along that inside where we just pressed the fold, because it's going to make it so much easier for us, right along that line. Now, once you've got that, you just want to come through and peel off the tape, leaving just the sticky. And then join those seams together. And whilst you don't need heat to do this, what I love is that then when I add heat, it just sets it like glue and makes it just so much stronger. Now, while I'm waiting there, I'm just waiting for that to cool ever so slowly. I'm going to remove the stabilizer from around the zipper and open that zipper up. And then we want to turn the bag inside out again, which actually makes it right side out. And what we then have, and cut off any superfluous threads as you come along. So if I now smooth that lining down and press my bag, what I've then got is this beautiful folded over, coordinating pouch. Now, one of the things that you could do with this, and I'm just going to come in a little bit closer there, is this would be perfect to take your side anchor straps and put on the side, and you've immediately got a great bag. You could also put a clasp on there, and the other thing, of course, is how great would this look if you then put a little extra piece of fabric on the front, so that as well as having this pouch, you had an extra pouch there as well. But I am loving this project. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. As I said, these designs are now with you in your in the You Do You Zipper Pouch collection. If you've purchased previously, the update has been sent to you, and I hope you use them with joy. Until next time, have a stitching day. Bye.